Hello fellow marble lovers. Let's look at the top 10 highest selling machine-made marbles that sold on eBay during the month of June 2023. Starting off the list in the number 10 spot is a vintage Peltier Pink Panther NLR marble 0.63 inch mint minus wet pink Spiderman must-have. Sold on June 4th via Buy It Now for $177. I was unable to dig up an official description of the Pink Panther NLR from a credible source, but the ones I've seen listed online always appear with a lighter blue base and pinkish or salmon colored ribbons, very similar to a Spiderman or Superboy, as this seller has noted. At number 9, we have a Superman Boy Yellow hard to find Peltier glass 1930s NLR Rainbow Vintage Marbles 0.63 inch near mint. Sold on June 4th via Buy It Now for $182. A sweet looking Superboy, the red and yellow are not separated quite enough to achieve a full grown Superman status. I particularly enjoy that burnt patch, with a faint fold connecting the two adjacent ribbons. In the number 8 spot is a Peltier Christmas Tree, Peltier Hybrid Christmas Tree Marble Vintage Marbles 0.787. Bit of redundancy in that title, but that's okay. Sold on June 12th via Buy It Now for $185. No stranger to this list, the classic NLR Christmas Tree designation is determined by a white base with red and green ribbons. The seller did list this as a hybrid, and I would assume that's because the red ribbons seem to have a bit of orange or yellowish to them, almost like a flaming ribbon. At number 7 is a vintage Peltier Gray Dragon Shooter Rare Hard to Find 0.82 inch Marble UV Reactive. Sold on June 4th via Buy It Now for $190. A very neat looking marble. I never would have expected the UV reactive base. There are many different variations of the NLR Dragon that collectors have designated over the years, but unfortunately I could not find an official description of the Gray Dragon. As the name alludes, I would assume it's a gray base, typically found with orange ribbons, but I'm not quite sure. If you have any info, please drop it in the comments. Leading the bottom half of the leaderboard in the number 6 spot is a Near Mint Plus Liberty Hybrid 4-color swirl Peltier Glass NLR Rainbow Vintage Marbles 0.69 inch. Sold via Buy It Now on June 12th for $192. If you saw my mid-month teaser, you may recognize this marble, an absolute killer example of Peltier's NLR that has become known as a Liberty. I will note that the seller's hybrid description seems to be a bit of a stretch, in my opinion. That fourth color looks more like a burnt red or burnt blue, or maybe just a muddled brown from the chemical mixture of those two colors. At number 5, from Cedarman 7, is a rare vintage wet mint minus Peltier NLR Liberty Citrus Variant Shooter. Sold on June 9th after 22 bids for $202.50. Another striking NLR from Peltier's factory. I particularly enjoy the bright primary colors that appear in many of these citrus variants and other Peltier marbles that have come to be named after fruit. The transparent sections on these are especially nice when wet mint. Yummy! In the number 4 spot is a rare AKRO Agate tight line Oxblood Hybrid Snake Vintage Corkscrew Marble 0.7 inch. Sold on June 20th after just a single bid of $300. Wow. I think I could just leave it at that. You don't see corks like this every day. I am a bit curious about the Oxblood description. My understanding of Oxblood is that it only appears on or very near the surface. If you have any info or thoughts, share them in the comments. And the first onto the pedestal on the number 3 spot is the rarest of Pelt comic Mibs, vintage Peltier KATO. Peltier Peerless Patch Marble 43/64 inch 0.675 inch mint. Sold via auction on June 20th with one bidder who forked up a hefty $300. Correctly described, KO is listed on the MCSA website as the rarest of the Peltier comic marbles. It is, however, more common than a handful of advertising marbles that were produced by Peltier, some of which are known to be true one-of-ones. At number 2 is a vintage Peltier marble Blue Lagoon with Aventurine Minty, 0.618 inch. Sold on June 12th via Buy It Now for $350. I believe this NLR may also be referred to by collectors as a Blue Surfer. These do frequently contain Aventurine, which the seller has noted. An absolutely stunning marble with an appropriate nickname. And last, but most definitely not least, in the number 1 spot is a vintage Christensen Agate Company Swirl Marble distinctive color combo, sold on June 18 at auction after 18 bids for $360. The seller describes the in-hand color of this marble as a dark teal with yellow and cream. This is a gleaming example of the wonderful marbles produced by Christensen Agate during their short-lived existence, and stands as a premier chase for collectors around the world. And that does it for the top 10 highest selling machine-made marbles on eBay during the month of June 2023. Let me know what your favorite was and any other thoughts and opinions you have in the comments. Thank you for checking out my video. Have a wonderful rest of your day.